Welcome back, sports fans. Here we are, another video. Today we are going through the World Tour. Now, we've had lots of World Tours, and what I want to do is just to give you a guide, just go through everything that's in here, then maybe some things that you are unaware of. So first of all, let's just have a look at the rules. So qualifications 3 days. Now, that is not one qualification session, there are 3 separate qualifications. You can enter at a variety of different levels and you can work your way up. You can work your way up through the levels if you want to, or you can just try and qualify in one level. So if you want to go into Legendary, for example, you can start in Legendary and try it 3 times to make sure you qualify. The easiest day for Legendary is day 3 in terms of qualification. So just because you're a lower level doesn't mean you might not be able to get into Legendary, and there's a reason why you would do that. So you can register for any level, any day, but if you qualify for 2 levels, they will compete in the semi-final at the highest. So you do have to be careful. If you start an amateur and then go to professional, if you qualify in both of them, you wouldn't be able to try champion or Legendary. So depending on what level you actually are, then it really will determine where you start. So you probably want to start, I don't know, if you're low level, someone like professional. If you're medium level, start champion. If you're high level, just probably go straight to Legendary. Semi-final stage, that is where we have got larger groups and we need to be able to, based on your DP score, the aim is to finish in the qualification. So it is 20. I think the groups are 40. We'll double check on semi-final day maybe. And then you'll go through to the final, and then your final position determines what you get paid off on. And then the other thing to bear in mind from World Tour is you get World Tour points. What they will do is they will determine what level of playoff you're going to be in. So if you're constantly competing at a lower level, you're probably going to be in a lower playoff. If you're always in Legendary, you should be in Legendary, but if you only ever make the semi-finals, you might be in Champion. So what's the reason for trying to get into as high a level as possible? So the one thing that everyone craves, wants, needs, desires are the orange trading tokens for Legendary equipment, athletes and coaches. You can see here that when you get to the semi-final, that's where you can earn one of those. Now, these rewards are not cumulative. So if you get into the final, you do not get the semi-final reward and the final reward. You will only get one or the other. But if you want those tokens and you can sneak through on Legendary, maybe on day 3, it's worth trying, because then you're going to end up with an orange token versus a purple token versus a green and a blue. So it's fairly self-explanatory on that bit. The other thing about World Tour, so if we just look at qualification, we can see here, if you're a high level, or you are quite one of the stronger players in the level that you've entered, you should easily qualify. And what you do is, these would normally be green, and you tick the green bit to play them, and you play them once. There is no advantage to redoing events. So, if I was doing it and I'm a high level, then if I mucked up the 110 and got a false start and it was really slow, I don't need to go and redo it. I'd just finish a little bit lower. And the reality is, you've just got to be in the top 10. So if I'm looking at this, 11, 12, 13, they'll definitely qualify on day 2 or day 3. And you should see the same for 14. The ones who might struggle are the people down in sort of like 17, 18, 19. There are some people who play all 3 days. You do not need to play all 3 days of qualifying. If you qualify on day 1, that's it. Take a break for 2 days. Go and concentrate on another part of the game, and then come back for semi-final day. Because once you get into the semi-finals, then we'll be in a similar type of group with more events, and then on to the final. So you can see here how many World Tour points you can actually get. And then you can see here, these are the 4. So it said you do 4 World Tours and then you do the playoffs. And it will even tell you, as you can see there, it tells me what league I'm currently going to be in. I will be in the Legendary League. I finished 4th. I think normally I try to finish somewhere between 3rd and 5th. is a decent finish versus players who are pretty much maxed out already. The other good thing about the World Tour is during qualification you'll have packages. Now, personally, I think that the qualification packages are not actually any good. I wouldn't buy one of them. What you want to do is where you've got the qualification. These are the free ones where we can watch videos to be able to get them. So you could either spend 13 tokens or watch videos. Now, there's not enough there to warrant using a token. But when you get to Legendary, for example, in the semi-finals you have, and you can see here, see this that's a pointless box. So if you think we'd take the free one, we'd leave the pointless one. We get a good free one there, that's good. And then you start getting into the ones of the trading tokens. And it's not going to show me the trading tokens here. But you can see we get 2 trading tokens there, which is pretty good. And then when we get to the final, again, trading tokens again. The reality is there's probably only 2 packages massively worth it. You could stretch to 3. But this Legendary 7 and then Legendary 9 are the 2 where you would say actually there probably is some value in actually getting those if you are prepared to pay for it. So let's just go back into qualifying. So you can see everyone does the same events. You can also see how are you doing in an event. You look at it and you go, right, I was 3rd in that one. The good thing is you can check against your PBs. So good example, triple jump. I've just recently got a new PB in that, but not while doing the event. You know, if I looked through this, I should be throwing further than 97. That wasn't the best javelin. You know, 12.708. So I was quickest on 110, and it's not even my quickest time. The long jump we can do a little bit more. So all of a sudden you can start to see, right, where do I make up my gap in terms of points? So 23.471. You know, we're not a million miles away from that with our shot put PB. So you're going to be wanting PBs when you get to final day. Semi-final, not so much. So that's sort of a bit of an overview of the World Tour. So what have we learned? You don't need to qualify all 3 days. If you qualify day 1 Legendary, then the reality is you don't need to do days 2 and 3. There's an actual advantage for not doing that as well, is you allow some of the smaller players to come up, which is good because that helps them strengthen, which means they stay invested in the game longer. But more importantly, you actually make the chances of your final group being easier, because the wider the field that's in Legendary and the lower level people that are in Legendary, that's exactly what we want to be able to do. So qualified day 1, that's it. Semi-finals where you get your token, which is what everyone wants. And the reality is the packages are not worth it really until you get to the final. They are not attractive enough to make you spend any money. So that was the World Tour. As we go through, normally I'll watch the video on that one, but I'm not going to today because I'm doing a video. Yeah, that's the World Tour. That's what we're sort of playing with. We want to make sure that we are maximising our equipment. We're getting closer to our first amateur jersey, up to level 15. We have got our first legendary one here, up to level 15. We've got others slowly getting there. We're not a million miles away. We're close to our first green, up to level 15, which is the 5k. Here you go. Less than 170 now to go. So we will hopefully get that in some packs and stuff. Our athletes are lagging slightly. You know, middle distance runners not a million miles away. We do need the AC store to give all of this a big boost. The AC store is the best way of boosting your athletes and coaches quickly. So really good. And then as we look through here, our daily offers, we can see, yeah, well, we're 1 away there. So that puts us on 29 for shot put, which would be good because shot put, I believe, is in the decathlon. And our decathlon, we've won that against Vinand. which we were always supposed to win against Vinand, based on power, etc., which is great. That'll take us up to step 2. But yeah, just going back to the shop on the daily deals, we're in a pretty good position here. That one goes up to 24. See here, normally you'd sit there and go, why on earth would you buy that? You're maxed out in purple. There is a reason. One, I've got a coin surplus, and secondly, it's going to help me with some of these blues and greens. So obviously we need the 5k on the green. We didn't get it. And then we get money back anyway, so it doesn't actually cost us, that's 9,000. What did it cost us? 16. And you do sometimes get it. That was a good one. Wow, that came out of nowhere, that legendary. Didn't expect it. Sometimes you do get them in purple chests. So it's definitely worth doing. And now we can obviously do something around the shop put. So that's it. Just remember, you don't need to qualify every day. Build yourself up to it. Get in as high a group as possible. Day 3 is going to be your day where you can sort of stretch what it is you're doing. But yeah, that's it for now. So leave a comment in below. How do you find the World Tour? Do you find it challenging? Do you find it easy? Like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell icon to just get the notifications of when I do these videos. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.